Hey, everybody. Welcome to Lockdown Brewers. The Brewers now have not scored 21 straight innings. They were shut out again. The opener against Tampa. Wasted was a great effort by Adrian Hauser. We'll get to all that, the Wade Miley update, and should the Brewers consider maybe benching Willie Adames for a game? Give him a little bit of rest. Somebody tweeted me at that. We'll talk about that. And here on the Saturday Shorty, a little shorter version coming up here on Lockdown Brewers. It's the weekend. We'll get to it next here on Lockdown Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I was just hoping the Brewers were going to get a blowout victory tonight. I had somebody tweet at me, give me a DM, said I'm way too negative on the Brewers. And I told them, I said, I want to be objective about these guys because I think this is what you guys want because we're fans and I'm a reporter as well. But, I think we need to be objective about these guys. And when things are going good, man, 15-6, I was patting these guys in the bat every day. Every day I was patting these guys in the back. But when they struggle and they go through stretches like this, criticism deserves to be put on our sports teams. There's no doubt about it. So I don't know. I was hoping that we'd have something positive to talk about tonight, but how can you? 1-0, they lose to Tampa. The offense was bad. Shutout for a second straight game. Now the positive on this, Adrian Hauser pitched fantastic. We'll get to all that coming up here in a little bit. My name is Chuck Friedman. I'm the morning sports anchor at 1310 WIB. I've been covering the Brewers for over 40 years for AP Radio as well. Love my jobs. Love talking Lockdown Brewers, positive or negative. I love being here every day because, hey, Lockdown Brewers on the Lockdown Podcast Network, our motto, we are your team every day, and baseball is every day, and we're here on weekends as well. Make it a little shorter version because we know you all got a lot to do on weekends and all that, so we try to get you in and out, and want to let you know that go to your favorite podcast platform, find us, Google, Spotify, Apple. We're all on all those websites, and every podcast platform on there. We are there on Locked On Brewers. Just put us in the search and you'll find it. And if you can bookmark us, that would be great as well. And of course, YouTube, hit the little subscribe button there and hit the bell. That's going to alert you every time we drop an episode. And of course, Twitter, Chuck Friedman, FREIMUND. Thank you for, as always, every day. Some of you everydayers out there, I hear from you every day. You watch us every day. You follow me on Twitter. I love that. We're growing every day on Locked On Podcasts. And we're the number one podcast, the Brewer podcast on the internet. Shane McClanahan, when he was on the mound, announced, I looked ahead and I saw him that he was pitching on Friday. Not only is he having a great year, but he's left-handed as well. And, the Brewers just can't hit lefties. They struggle. But Adrian Hauser, you get an effort like that from Adrian tonight. His third start of the year, his longest start. This is because he's started the year on the IL. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs. You like to think for a guy like Adrian Hauser, back end of the rotation guy, you're going to score a win. You wasted 6 innings from this guy. Peter Strzelecki gave up the only run in the game in the 8th inning. He hit a batter to start the game, but I'm not blaming this at all on Strzelecki. Got to score some runs. When you put so much pressure on your own pitching staff to score, that's a problem. Again, 21 straight innings. They were 0 for 23 with runners in scoring position. 9th inning, they had a guy on second base, 1 out. Rowdy Tellez strikeout. Tyrone Taylor, a little weak grounder in front of the plate. Game, set, and match. 8th inning, Owen Miller, who continues to get on every game. 20 straight games that Owen Miller has reached base. He gets on, man at second. Yelich grounds out, then the 3rd out, and that's it. And so twice, 2 innings in a row. 8th and 9th inning, you had a guy in scoring position, couldn't get him in. And you fall to 24-20 on the season. Darren Ruff. Have you heard that Darren Ruff hits lefties well? I think we've heard that a few times. He did. He had 2 hits tonight, first 2 Brewer hits. That was on the positive for the Brewers. But shutout for a second straight game. It's hard to say anything good about that. We'll tell you about the update on Wade Miley coming up here in a little bit. And, I'll throw it out there. Should the Brewers maybe think about sitting Willie Adames? because he continues to plummet. We'll talk about that coming up. The show brought to you in part by eBay. For a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to be just the right fit. So the next time you need parts and accessories, head to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you make sure every part you need fits just right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage. Look for the green check to know that the part will fit or your money back, because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game. When you shop eBay Motors, and with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win with the right parts are guaranteed. When the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Wade Miley, he's got a lat strain. They got a couple of opinions on it. And when Counsell was talking about this earlier this week in St. Louis, that Miley was going to have a couple of different opinions on the lat, you knew that this was going to be a serious injury. And it appears that the lat injury where he had it is in an unusual spot, which is going to cost him 6 to 8 weeks. An unusual spot for a baseball player, to put it in layman's terms. I'm not a doctor. Most of you aren't. But 6 to 8 weeks, I'm not laughing at the injury. I'm just laughing at, the medical terms here, but 6 to 8 weeks that Wade will miss. And that's a huge loss for this rotation. Huge. They just went back down to a 5. Miley has been one of their more consistent starters. Well, Peralta has been great, and Corbin has been Corbin his last couple of starts. But that's going to hurt, and you have a guy like Miley in the back end of this rotation with Brandon Woodruff. He can't afford to, and they've been getting by with some of the guys they've been bringing up from AAA. But this is a huge loss for this rotation. For the Brewers trying to piece things together, hold serve here, because they're back down to 4 games over the 500 mark. And they got Houston coming into town. You got 2 more games with Tampa. That's a big loss. And Woodruff, the news continues to be encouraging with him, but he's not coming back to the end of June. Willy Adames, just continues to struggle. No way to put it easier about Willie. Willie is in a big-time funk, along with several others. He's down to 211, struck out twice. He did have a hit tonight, but he's 1 for 4, down to 211. I'm not a firm believer in resting a guy and letting a guy watch the action. I've never been but I guess the slump has been so bad that maybe a day off for Willie would be a good thing. You've been running him out there each and every game. You rested him a couple of weeks ago in a blowout game. You took him out late in the game. Forgot which one it was, but I would be okay for Adames sitting out for 1 game, but it's in Tampa, and he's coming back to his old stomping grounds where he played in Tampa, and he was interviewed by like every radio and TV station that was covering the game in Tampa. And I get that, because when visiting players that played with the Brewers come here, we're the same way. We're jumping all over those guys, making their return. So Adames is not going to want to sit in this series anyway. Eric Lauer makes the start coming up. We'll tell you about the matchups ahead for Saturday afternoon, a 3:10 start. We'll get to that coming up here next, and we'll tell you about the folks from So Rare, another new sponsor here on Locked On Brewers. So Rare, a new sponsor, a revolutionary fantasy baseball game marketplace, transforming fans and owners, officially licensed digital cards featuring players from all across all 30 teams in Major League Baseball. The more you win, the more you advance. MLB game weeks happen twice weekly. If you're at the top of your division or near it, you have a chance at game tickets, merchandise, signed jerseys, and more. Head to sorare.com/lockedon. That's spelled SoRare, SORARE.com. Draft your team, a free player card, set your lineup, start competing today, win epic awards. Again, that's sorare.com/lockedon to start playing today. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers on the Saturday Shorty. We'll tell you 3:10 in the afternoon for that first pitch between the Brewers and Tampa Bay Rays. Catch every pitch of the Brewers' hometown broadcast, Sirius XM, on the SXM app, search Brewers. Lauer making his first start since May 9th. Worked out of the bullpen in a win last week and was really good last weekend against the Royals on the 14th. 5 innings in relief. Fantastic. Came on Sunday, and they put him up in the bullpen for him to kind of pitch in some low-pressure spots, get his confidence back a little bit. Been derailed there for a while. He had one great start earlier in the year, but hey, he's pressed into action. He's got to pitch. He's the pitch. The rotation guys are leaving this rotation more so than they're joining it, and they need him to pitch Saturday. Hopefully, they'll get a good one because the guy on the other end is a right-hander, but he's good. Zach Eflin, really good. Let me give you some numbers quickly on him because I believe he's off to a 5-1 start. I'm going to go check my notes here real quick. Yeah, Eflin is 5-1, a 3.38 ERA. Strong pitcher. Last game out, went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 runs last Sunday against the Yankees. He'll be who the Brewers are facing. But it doesn't matter if it's a lefty or righty these days. The Brewers, since last Monday, have struggled putting up some runs. Been shut out a few times. Their high water mark this week, 3 runs in the win over St. Louis. Eric Lauer against Zach Eflin coming up on Sunday. What else? Oh, yeah, that game was over so early tonight. Saw some guys on Twitter joke about that tonight. How the game, Mark Carroll talked about that. How the game was over, or Matt Carroll, I should say. How the game was over at 7:49 tonight. Seems unusual. Yeah, a 5:40 start, plus with the new rules, and you whiz by in a 1-0 game. So I chuckled at Matt Carroll, who does great stuff for reviewing the Brew. At 7:49 is the game over. I was thinking, what am I going to do with the rest of my night after I get done doing this? So, yeah, unusual to see 7:49. It's like, when Brewers play an afternoon game on a Friday at Wrigley, it's like no game at night. It started so early tonight that by the time he got settled in, they were in the 8th inning already. It just was flying by. Again, Owen Miller, base hit in the 8th inning, 20 straight games he has reached base. Great for him. Continue. Because he's the one guy you can count on these days. All right, let's check the box real quick before we say goodbye here on the Saturday Shorty. Locked On Brewers, appreciate all you everydayers out there. Owen Miller batted in leadoff spot, went 1 for 4. Contreras went 1 for 4. Christian Yelich went 0 for 4. Yelich, good to see him back in the lineup. Yeah, had missed the last 2 games, left the game on Monday. Yelich back in, wasn't 0 for 4, coming back after that, the back soreness that he suffered. Willie Adames, mentioned him, 1 for 4, 2 Ks. Darren Ruff went 2 for 2. Jesse Winker pinch hit for him late in the game and an RBI base hit. I believe I said Bryce Terang had a base hit. Now Winker had the base hit. Terang actually pinch ran for him as Winker a few times this year. He's gotten late inning base hits, and someone has come on to pinch run for him. Brian Anderson went 0 for 4. Mike Brasso went 1 for 3. Tellez did not play. He pinch hit late in the game, and he struck out in the 9th inning. Tyrone Taylor went 0 for 4. Joey Weimer went 1 for 3. Adrian Hauser, hey, like I said, great outing for him. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and 84 pitches. Love it from Adrian Hauser. Piamps, an inning and 2 Ks. He continues to be very, very, and earning my trust with every game he's out there. Peter Strzelecki, 1 inning, 1 hit a batter, struck out 1, and took the loss. But again, I'm not going to heap this on the pitching staff at all. Got a snap out of a 21-inning scoreless streak against Zach Eflin coming up on Saturday afternoon. Of course, again, you catch the game on the Brewers' hometown broadcast, Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search Brewers and Rays at 3:10 coming up on Saturday afternoon in the Central Time Zone. It's going to do it for me. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on Locked On Brewers, a shorty version, the Saturday Shorty of a Sunday Shorty after the game tomorrow. Locked On Brewers on the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. So long, everybody.